Good evening, and welcome to tonight's special report. Our story tonight is about a master of deception in the digital age, a con woman known by over 20 aliases, but most famously as Diana, a name that has become synonymous with a new kind of financial predator. Using meticulously crafted LinkedIn and Facebook profiles posing as a senior Estée Lauder executive, she lured unsuspecting victims to the VWEB.org website promising high returns on cryptocurrency investments. Diana executed what's known as a pig butchering scheme. Victims, fattened with hope and trust, were led to invest heavily, only to have their savings mercilessly stripped away.
Scammers use every means to find victims that you can think of. People create kind of a relationship with people. Sometimes a relationship, sometimes they use a romantic relationship. Sometimes they just use people's interest in making money. These are tactics.
Love at first swipe cost one Philadelphia woman almost $500,000. Shreya Dada matched with a guy on Hinge. They bond, they're talking, they realize they share a lot in common, including investing. Well, he recommends she put her cash into Coinbase and change it to cryptocurrency. After a lot of big money transfers into what she thought was a legitimate site, some of the guy's fishy behavior caught her attention. She realized she had been swindled out of a lot of her hard-earned cash. She was a victim of cryptocurrency investment. It's a scam called pig butchering. So basically, you fatten up your victim and then you take everything they have.
They had the victims open up accounts on Coinbase, Crypto.com, as well as Trust Wallet. So did they have you create a Coinbase account essentially?
Yeah, yes,
okay.
They did.
So they probably had you on the Coinbase, had you put in like your debit card or your bank information into that to do the dummy transaction.
Yeah.
Right. Once the victims link the bank accounts, credit cards, and their identity to these wallets, they're screwed. The scammers will then change the passwords and remove the apps off of the victim's phone. And then they had you delete Coinbase after you did all of that?
Yeah.
Okay. We need to get you back on there.
Deception to make him believe that he can make his money. During the course of this scam, his father actually passed away. And that was, I think, around the time when Jessica decided to go for the butchering. This so-called big market came just after Sai's father passed away. On the one hand, it's easy to blame people and say, well, you should have known better. But I think after talking to Sai for such a long time and reading through this transcript, really any one of us could be manipulated. I think scammers are really good at exploiting those weaknesses. I can just imagine being in a situation where you've experienced a really traumatic loss in your life. And here's a person who wants to supposedly listen to you and wants to hear you and supposedly wants to help you. Experts believe that the scale of these scams is in the billions of dollars annually, and it's quite frightening because there have been relatively few documented cases of victims being able to get their money back. The scammers are believed to be people largely, if not entirely, in Southeast Asia, primarily operating out of Cambodia, Myanmar, and Laos. The people that are doing the scams, in many instances, according to reporting that I've done and research that's being done by the Global Anti-Scam Organization, are people who themselves, shockingly, are victims also. Oftentimes, these are people, Chinese-speaking or English-speaking, who are lured from countries like Malaysia, Philippines, Thailand, Taiwan, through the prospect of a job ad. They see a job ad, people are looking for work, people have been, lost work during the pandemic, and see an opportunity to come to Cambodia, to come to Myanmar, to come to Laos, to work maybe in a casino, to work in a call center, something like that. And in many, many instances, people find that when they get there, their passports are seized, their phones are seized, and they're basically put to work scamming people. This type of scam originated largely among Chinese-speaking communities and has since expanded to English-speaking communities as well. They are told to scam people, and this is a way to just extract money from people who live in the United States and in countries around the world. So, American law enforcement, and I'm sure law enforcement agencies around the world, are trying to work as hard as they can to put a stop to this. But as of now, it seems that the scammers have the upper hand.